Salute, man. Salute the cool cat, man. He says, yo, nation, much love. Meow. Shout out to the nation. Press one if you can hear me. Press one if you can hear me. We in this bitch. 200 likes to start the show, man. Let's get on the way, man. Everybody hit the like button, man. We can get this party started right. Let's see what this sun turd is talking about, man.
I need you to see this. Elon Musk is spreading a very specific kind of racism on the internet right now.
Uh-oh. You got an educated brother, too, man. This brother educated, too, man. So he's more believable. He's an educated brother. All right, brother. Tell us, man.
I need you to see this. Elon Musk is spreading a very specific kind of racism on the internet right now.
Elon started retweeting some of the most prominent race scientists, and there was like nothing. No one, Chuck Schumer with him after that. He's like the sort of patient zero for a lot of stuff right now.
Elon seems to really like this account. They've gone by a few names on the platform, but they share extremely racist content that argues that Black people are innately intellectually inferior beings.
Well, who's gonna tell him, man? Who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him? Well, I always got to be the one to break the news, man. Which one of you cocksuckers is gonna tell him? Salute to Product of Cook County. He says, Ock Nation, the best nation on Juice Tube. Even while being the father of 2 children, I will speak for everyone here and say thank you for your consistency to stream, even while running on little sleep. Yeah, man, you ain't lying, man. I had a busy day today. I got a busy day tomorrow, man. That's just what it is, Jack. I got a busy day tomorrow, man. But yeah, don't we all, though? Press one. Don't we all? Who's going to break into this sun, man?
As race scientists, and there was like nothing. No one, Chuck Schumer met with him after that. He's like the sort of patient zero for a lot of stuff right now.
Elon seems to really like this account. They've gone by a few names on the platform, but they share extremely racist content that argues that Black people are innately intellectually inferior beings. We actually settled this debate generations ago, but Elon Musk is helping to bring...
When did we settle this debate, man? What is this guy talking about, man? When did we settle this debate, man? Where you at, man? You smart son, man. You intellectual son, man. There you go. You smart. You smart son, man. When did we... When did we settle this debate, man? I missed that, man. Why y'all ain't tell me, man? Because I've been looking around, man, you know, just doing some... Just doing my own data, man. And, man, I'm coming up with some different findings, man. Press 1 if you've been coming up with some different findings than this guy, man, who says we settled the debate generations ago. I'm coming up with some different findings. My data, man, is I don't know, man. Something must be wrong with my sample size, man. I'm coming up with I'm getting different results, man. Oh wow. Nathan Kaufnas. This dude gives no fucks, man. Damn, Nathan Kaufnas gives no fucks. Hey.
Elon seems to really like this account. They've gone by a few names on the platform, but they share extremely racist content that argues that Black people are innately intellectually inferior beings. We actually settled this debate generations ago, but Elon Musk is helping to bring it back.
Meet Louis Agassiz, a Swiss-born American biologist who believed that the races developed separately and were of different origins. In his view, Negroes were of the, quote, lowest grade of humanity.
Look at this graph. It shows the follower growth of this account over time. And many of those peaks that you're seeing are the moments when Elon Musk engaged with them over the last few years. A simple response from Elon gives a fringe account like this one access to millions of users, drawing greater attention to these destructive ideas and earning.
Hey, man, have you seen the last 200 shootings in this country? The cop in New Mexico, the family in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, by the dude from Trenton, the beach in Jacksonville. On and on and on. Memphis, the fight in Memphis. Yo, I'm doing my own data, man. I'm gonna trust my own data, man.
This account tens of thousands of new followers. This page is part of a larger network of race science advocates on Twitter. People who use out of context IQ data and cherry-picked examples to make gross, sweeping statements about entire groups of people. And Elon Musk gobbles it up, pulling his audience of tens of millions of followers down the rabbit hole with him. And I'm not the only one who recognizes Elon's impact. They know that he's the best thing to happen to their racist ideas too, saying that he's done more to raise awareness for their cause than anything else.
People are not being convinced by the strength of the empirical argument. They're being convinced by...
This guy's definitely Juice Crew. Press 1. Look at this guy, man. This guy, man, if he ain't Juice Crew, man, I don't know who's Juice Crew, man. The juice is loose, man.
By the appearance of the empirical argument.
That's Will Stansel. He's an attorney, and he's been fighting against this army of bigots for months.
People are almost more susceptible to the simpler, charts with like race and IQ than they are to the really complicated stuff. The simple stuff, they can look at a chart and there's a line, there's a line that says Black Americans, and says IQ 70, white Americans IQ 101.
Hey, these two right here, these two are actually true though, man. Will Stansel. This one is true and this one is true, man.
70, white Americans IQ 101, and people go, well, that's it then. This is the most basic statistical error in the book. the correlation doesn't equal causation.
Now, if you encounter this content in the wild, there are graphs in academic sounding language saying that IQ data proves that people of European descent are intellectually and genetically superior, you may know that it's wrong, but you may not have the language for it. So I reached out to Dr. Sasha Gusev.
My name is Sasha Gusev. I am an associate.
Another juice crew, man. Yeah.
You may know that it's wrong, but you may not have the language for it. So I reached out to Dr. Sasha Gusev.
My name is Sasha Gusev. I am an associate professor at the Harvard Medical School. I am a statistical geneticist by training.
I asked him if there was any scientific legitimacy to the claims that these people were making.
So I think there's a couple of ways to think about it. One is this concept of race fundamentally doesn't have a basis in biology.
Oh yeah, race is a construct, man. Well, let's put 100 of you on an island and put 100 of me on an island. Let's just see and come back in 10 years. And let's just see what the 100 of yous are doing and the 100 of me's are doing. We're going to be doing different stuff, man. Vastly different stuff. I don't know what we're going to be doing, but it's going to be different, Jack. And it's going to be different like a motherfucker.
So, as I mentioned, like the model, the evolutionary model that we have of genetic diversity is completely different from this sort of social model that we have of distinct, isolated racial groups. And so whenever we start talking about racial differences, that is already a flawed view of looking at genetic variation, which just does not follow those kinds of hard and separate racial distinctions.
I think Dr. Gusev captured perfectly why Elon's role in spreading these ideas is just so uniquely dangerous.
There's a kind of fusion of old school, just like gutter racism that everybody can kind of recognize, and this new school Silicon Valley data-driven analysis. And I think that is very confusing to people. And a lot of times they don't know what to do with it. They say, hey, there's this thing that I understand is ugly. And then there's somebody posting 100 charts that seem to support it.
Talk to me. Why are you engaging in this online? I mean, you're a busy scholarly individual, you're a professor. What brings you to Twitter to argue with derps online?
That's a good question. I asked that question myself a lot too. I think it is important for the people who actually run those studies and understand where those charts are coming from and how their work is being misused, to be out there and talking about it.
Okay. Man arrested for murder after child calls 911 to report the shooting of his mother. What was she doing with this guy, man? Look at that guy, man. She deserved what she got. Press 1, man. Not for being with her son, man, but for being with that guy, man. Not for being with her son, man, but for being with that guy, man. For being with that son. She deserved what she got, man. Yeah, dog. That's one special looking son, man. Jason Horn, 44, charged with the murder and gun possession for allegedly shooting Jennifer Gorecki, 43. Children and his grandmother. The children and his grandmother say he acted like he didn't know the woman was shot. He reportedly said the woman shot herself, but police found no burn marks on her clothes. The child was at a friend's house when he heard Horn yelling from the house where the shooting happened. His story changed multiple times, from not knowing about the shooting to admitting to drinking and arguing with the victim. According to police, he was sentenced to 7 years in federal prison in 2009 for being involved in crack dealing. Toll pay. They be tripping me out with that toll pay meme, man. That shit is funny. Yeah, man. Cold toe. Called it the cold toe. Oh yeah, remember the shooting in Jacksonville Beach the other day? The shooting in Jacksonville Beach where they've yet to release the suspect's identity. Not the one where the guy had the gun and the cops chased him into the water and he surrendered. I'm talking about the one where the guy fired the gun and killed the person and shot 3 other people in Jacksonville Beach. Well, this is the scene that preceded that, man.
Not used to that.
Wow. Let's see what this white guy's going through, man. This privilege. Another day in privilege, man. White privilege. Another example of white privilege on display, guys. See what's going on here. Mm. Wow. Okay. Salute to LRLRS. Shout out to LRLRS coming through once again. What the hell's going on, man? Okay, here we go. No,
I'm videoing evidence. If something freaking happens, what's gonna happen? They can't even aim. Here comes another one. There it was. There it was. Right. Look at the shot.
that white guy had no idea how much danger he was in. Those kids can literally kill you and go home that night with no charges or maim you or put you in a fucking body cast or a coma. Gliders, man, take these situations seriously, man. These kids get to kill you and get out in 2 years at the most. At the most, they do 2 years for killing you in some fucking boot camp.
No, I'm videoing evidence. If something fucking happens, shit's gonna happen. They can't even aim. There's another one. There it was. There it was. Hey! Look at the shot.
But they sent her.
Huh. You know what? They stopped, right? Did they stop, Jody? Jody, did they stop? Hey, be careful, guys.
Watch out.
Hey, come here.
Of course, we don't just want to. And so the only way the whites can survive is if we start to assert a pro-white identity. Because, of course, we don't just want to not be discriminated against. We want America to be a white country. We want America to be a place where white people are thriving. And we want whites to be in control in Europe as well. And in order to have that, we need Europeans to wake up. We need white people to wake up and realize not only are we not evil and not only are we not bad, but we're great. We have a great heritage. We have a great ancestry, a great legacy. We need white people not just to be these beta males, supplicants to black rappers and beta male, pathetic people. You know, you see them on these podcasts and on TikTok, and they're just, they feminized white men so that they're non-threatening. The only real masculinity can be had by black rappers and by, you know, these mystery meat Jason Momoa types. And white people just have to be these like little bitches that go around and say, oh, I'm a stupid fucking white guy. What do I know? I'm just like a stupid white guy that can't dance. I'm like not cool. I'm just like a pussy. I mean, they want us to be that. So it's not enough that these pussy white people aren't discriminated against. We need white people to become heroes again. We need white people like Trump. We need white people that aren't afraid of themselves. We need white people that aren't afraid of white supremacy. It's not, I don't want to be another protected minority. I don't want to be a cowering white person saying, please don't discriminate against me. Can I have a fair shake? Like, we need to stop being so afraid of white supremacy and stop being so afraid of white nationalism. When white people become great, they say you're a white supremacist. We need to stop being afraid of that. When black people become great, they say, we're so proud, you're such a credit, that's amazing, good for you, we want black power and black pride, and you're making everybody proud. And same with everybody. When any other group succeeds or does great or they're cool or they're a Chad, it's good for them. When a white guy rises up, oh, well, they're an evil Hitler, white supremacist, you know, what do you think, you're better than all of us? We need to stop being afraid of that. And that's the only kind of mindset that's going to get us back to an acceptable state of affairs in America and in Europe. That's the only state of affairs where whites will have the vitality to start having kids again and to start being leaders again, and not these deferential supplicants to a multiracial world.
Salute to Nick Taljavon, man. Nick Taljavon says, yo, what's funny is that sons only downplay one quest, IQs. Sons only downplay IQs because they have the lowest. Yeah, we had the highest IQs, man. We would be shouting that shit from the mountaintop. We would be fucking throwing that shit in everybody's faces, man. If we had the highest IQs, man, we would. Nobody else would be able to use the internet but black people. Nobody would be able to use cars but black people. Sons would never stop bragging about it. They had to have. That's a fact, man. That is so true, man. Nick Chow Javon says lefties have to call any discussion about race, not cue racist, to poison the well, believing that genetics affects everything except for IQ is peak code. They know. They know. Trust me, they know. That's why they don't want their kids to go to school with them. If they, if lefties didn't, if white lefties didn't believe in IQ, then they would let their fucking kids go to school with sun turds. Press 1. The fact that they don't allow their children to even go to school with sun turds lets you know everything. Benita Crump. That's the tell. That's all you need to know. They will not let their kids go to school with sun turds, man. No, sir. No way. That lets you know everything. $200 likes to start the show, man. 200 likes to start the show, man. Show you that I love you, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, give me one more chance. Show you that I love you. $200 likes to start the show, man. 200 likes to start the show, man. Let's see what's going on with this situation, man. Detail Javon says they had to bring in the high IQ glider to say IQ don't matter. Yeah, they tried to use that smart son man to try to be like, hey, look, if it wasn't for racism and redlining, all of them would be like this guy. And that son man probably wasn't even smart. He probably was just proper. He's probably a moron because he doesn't understand that genetics. Think about it. That son man who was talking in that video, he's a fucking moron too. Because he doesn't even think that genetics has anything to do with intelligence. All he is proper and with glasses. He speaks well and he has glasses. But he's a fucking moron too. Press 1.
for two men they say were involved. Police are still looking for two men they say were involved in a deadly stabbing inside a Brooklyn deli. Investigators say that a man tried making unwanted advances at twin
they're
sisters.
looking for two men now. Oh, shit. They're looking for two men. Where's this guy at, man? Hey, Black America, man. I'm talking to you, Black America. Hey, Blakistan. Where this guy at, man? Why y'all not protesting and demanding this guy to fucking come out of whatever the fucking hole he's hiding in? Why isn't the fucking whole city in an uproar? In the streets like, yo, little fucking son turd, bring your ass out. Where the fuck are you? Because we're a subspecies.
One of them refused. The unimaginable happened. CBS 2's Elijah Westbrook has the latest from Park Slope and reaction from family members.
She's a good person. She didn't deserve this.
The gut-wrenching shock being felt by the godmother of 19-year-old Samiyah Spain.
Her birthday is coming too. Oh, man.
She was killed early Sunday morning here at this deli on 4th Avenue and St. Mark's Place after she and her twin sister declined unwanted advances made by two men, according to police. One of them stabbing Samiyah to death.
Kitchen knife. That's a kitchen knife, man. That's a Ginsu knife. That shit probably serrated and everything. That's one of the knives you pull out of that wood block, man. This fucktard was walking around one of those.
One of them stabbing Samiyah to death in the chest. Her surviving twin sister was also stabbed, enduring injuries to her arm. Monday morning, neighbors and others in the community briefly came out to pay their respects at this growing memorial outside the building the twins live. Frances Angel was one of them. A neighbor.
She was in the community and she did have a lot of
I don't want
friends.
you to come out and show respect. I want you to riot and tear shit up, you fucking shit. You shit stains, you human shit stains, riot and tear shit up. 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 Fuck all that bullshit. Fuck all this bullshit. Go find that little fucking son turd that killed that girl, man. That little piece of shit. Go find that piece of shit. Go find that little shit stain. Putting candles down and shit. Putting candles all over the fucking place. Man, go find that shit stain. Putting candles everywhere, you fucking retards. You subhumans. Putting candles down and shit. Go make it uncomfortable for that fucking kid. Where's that kid at, man? Why the white man gotta go find that kid, man? Press 1, man. Why the fucking white man gotta go find this kid, man? Why the white man gotta go find this kid, man? And then why it's so hard for the white man to find this kid? Why it's so hard for the white man to find this kid? Two things, man. Why the white man gotta find this kid, and why is it so hard for the white man to find this kid? Where this fucking kid at, man? Who did this shit?
So forth. But she was a happy-go-lucky girl, you know, normal teenager. You know, sad that this happened to her.
Sunday morning's senseless act catching the attention of community leaders like Daniel Sanabria, a youth pastor who came by to express his condolences. Although he didn't know the sisters personally, he had this message for the surviving twin.
This is tragedy for her family, tragedy for her. It's going to be a long time, and she's healing this process. And so people have to surround her and her family and support her.
The one thing undoubtedly needs during this difficult time.
They're not good. Nobody's good. You know?
The deli where this tragedy occurred back open today after it was closed most of Sunday while investigators put the pieces together. They're encouraging people to...
They better hurry up and find that guy or they're going to start blaming the deli, man. Sun turds are fucking retarded, man. They gonna start blaming the deli, man. They better hope they find that fucking shit stain kid who did this shit soon, man, before they start fucking trying to burn the deli down.
To give them a call if they have information pertaining to this case.
And tonight, the killer of one of those twin sisters is still out there. An eyewitness says that the man went berserk after 19-year-old Samiyah Spain refused his advances. An eyewitness says that he then also stabbed that twin sister. The horror unfolded this weekend in Park Slope.
Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon at the scene with the latest on the tragedy there. Sonia?
Yeah, Joe and Lauren, this deli has turned over all of its surveillance video to the NYPD because this is where it all unfolded. An exchange inside the deli and then that horrific attack outside, all apparently because the twins did not want unwanted attention from a stranger and told him to leave them alone.
You know the thing that's the craziest, man? Here's the craziest part. Hit the like button, man. We need 200 likes to stop the show, man, so I can drop this link. Let me show you some crazy shit, man. You got all this, you got this fucking abyss of black crime and violence that's been sweeping the country for the last fucking 100 years. But it's more on display now because of social media, right? And and it's in the, you know, on the backside of Black Lives Matter. But with every time there's a big shooting, every time there's a fucking big story, it's some fucking sun turd that did that shit. Guaranteed, and you can chalk it up. And this fucking bowling ball head bitch right here, representing Black Lives Matter, can get up and say this shit in front of a crowd and they don't fucking throw cans and tomatoes at her ass. That just shows you how much power black people have. With all the crime and all the violence and all the murder against all races being perpetuated by black people, in plain sight now, this whore should have never had the fucking unmitigated gall or the gumption to say this shit right here.
It is a slap in the face, and you might as well stomp on the grave of Tyree Nichols for bringing this bill. Yes, we are emotionally charged. Why? Because it's personal for us. Taylor made this personal the minute he introduced this legislation to target one family and one life that was lost. So yeah, we're gonna fight. Dr. King said the riots are the language of the unheard. You ain't saying nothing yet.
This bitch is threatening riots over an anti-crime bill. in Memphis, Tennessee. But they won't ride to go find this little fucking butt crumb. This little butt crumb that fucking stabbed this girl. There's no rioting and they're not in the streets looking for this little fucking butt crumb that stabbed this fucking girl to death in New York. A little butt crumb.
Heartfelt messages and mourning outside the building where 19-year-old Samiyah Spain lived with her family, including her twin sister, who survived the attack early Sunday at the Slope Natural Plus Deli on 4th Avenue in St. Mark's Place. An eyewitness to the attack, who asked to remain anonymous, says the two young women were with friends ordering a late-night snack.
You know when somebody fat sit on the toilet and that little fucking brown shit be on the back of the toilet? When somebody fat sit on the toilet, be like a little brown like mark on the back of the toilet. Where their ass crud just rubbed off on the toilet and shit. That's what this kid who did that shit, he's that. A fucking butt smudge. Where the fuck is he at, man? Where's this butt smudge at, man? And why the fuck is the white man who's looking for him can't find him? Because you fucking sun turds won't tell him where he at.
Witness to the attack, who asked to remain anonymous, says the two young women were with friends ordering a late-night snack when a young man pretty aggressively hit on them. They made it clear they were not interested.
So he called them names. They called him names back. He walked down the block angry. And then a couple, like 2-3 minutes later, he comes up and starts banging and kicking on the glass door, trying to get in.
The eyewitness says the young man's friend told him, "You're drunk, let's go." But he did not.
The second they opened the door, he ran back into the door and started attacking them.
Listen, man, I've been around some aggressive guys. I'm from Washington, D.C. Most guys I know are very aggressive with women. Cold approach women all the time, man. D.C. is the town of cold approaching. We will cold approach a bitch, man. I've thrown shit at women who rejected me before too, man. I've thrown stuff at them, sticks or whatever was in my hand that was disposable, a cup. I've done that, man. Little fucking cranker. Bitch, you little bit night. Been a bad person. I've done that, man. But it gives me special insight, man, into this story, man. It gives me special insight into the story. All of the fucking guys that been around and the things that I've done. Yes, I've thrown things at girls that have rejected me. See, in DC, man, what was this be like? In the 2000s, girls started having this line. It used to be, I got a boyfriend. It used to be, you know what I'm saying, I got a man. And then we'd be like, well, you know what I'm saying, so what? Your man say you can't have friends, and, you know, niggas wouldn't give up. So niggas, we would never give up when they said they have a man. We would say, your man don't let you have friends, man. He must be, he possessive or some shit like that, or da-da-da-da, or keep pursuing it even after she said she had a man. So I said, I guess women evolve, man. And especially younger women, that ones that were getting approached, they evolved. And they started saying, I'm good. And for some reason, man, when a woman would say that to me, man, that shit would hurt my soul. Especially if you see it, be like, God damn, who was that? Oh shit, hey, shorty, hey, she be like, I'm good. You good? What the fuck? And another one that I heard is, sorry, I'm not interested. It's like, oh shit. Bitch, you don't even know me. All I said was hi, bitch. Nah, I'm not interested. Oh shit. You're not interested. Yeah. And listen, I wouldn't throw stuff at them all the time. This was probably twice in my life I've thrown something at a woman. But what I'm saying is, I've seen niggas cuss bitches out, man. Fuck you, little raggedy ass bitch, little hooker, little crank ass bitch. I done been there when niggas done cuss bitches until like the bitch walking off until the bitch is this big in the distance and shit. They still cussing and shit. I done seen that shit, man. Yeah, man. The reason I'm saying that is because there's a lot of people going around saying, well, she probably was rude about the way she put them, the way she rejected him. And here's the thing. When you a woman in Blakistan, man, especially if she got a little fat little butt or cute little butt or something like that, you getting cold approach so much, man, that it almost becomes annoying. Every time you go somewhere, some nigga trying to talk to you, some nigga trying to holler at you, some ape, some ain't shit nigga trying to holler at you, dude. Some fucking street level motherfucker, street nigga, always trying to holler at you and shit everywhere you go. Now you dress like a whore, so it's like you kind of like, you know what I'm saying, putting out the bat signal for it. But at the end of the day, everywhere these girls go, and some fucking street urchin is trying to holler at them. And you may get tired of that shit after a while, man. You might say, look, man, I don't want to be bothered. And now a nigga mad, he in his feelings. He gonna cuss you out and tell you he ain't want you anyway, bitch. I've been there so many times, man. I've been there, man. I've been there dozens and hundreds of times, man. I've been there, man. Nah, this ain't manosphere. This is real. This is realosphere, man. This is hoodosphere shit, man. I ain't talking about no manosphere shit right now. I'm talking about the hoodosphere. I've been there, man. Niggas being persistent and shit. The girl that told you she got a boyfriend. She done told you she don't even live. She lying. She done made up 1,000 lies. She like, I'm married. Well, where your ring at? God damn, nigga. I left it at home. Damn, you left your ring at home. You must not be that committed to your man then. What kind of woman leave her ring at home? So y'all ain't really serious if you left your ring at home. What's up then? Can I get your number? Oh God. Look, man. My husband won't like that. Well, you can call me. I'll give you my number. You can call me. It's, oh, shit. And then she got to end up taking your number just to get you out of her hair. Press 1. She got to take your number just to get you out of her hair. Now she done took your number, right? And you like, You like 202 blase blah blase blah 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 blah. And she like, all right, I got it. And you like, all right, call my phone. And she like, oh shit, cause she ain't really put the shit in there for real. She like, I'm gonna call you later. She don't never call you. You see the chick again sometime in the future. You like, damn, shorty, why you ain't call me? And it's like, oh, this nigga, like, god damn. This nigga again. Fuck. Yo, all niggas is creepy, man. This ain't creepy stuff. This is regular stuff that black women go through, man. This is regular stuff. This ain't creepy yet. This is just cold approach from a nigga you don't know. A nigga with sleep in his eye. This nigga still got sleep in his eyes. This nigga got stains on his shirt, pants sagging. Debit card overdrawn. That nigga can't even take this bitch, can't even buy this bitch a cheeseburger. If she was like, all right, pay for my food, this nigga can't even do it. If she was to be like, okay, you want my number? All right, pay for me and my sister food right now, and I give you my number. This nigga can't even do it. That's the type of niggas that are cold approaching women in the street all day long. In Blakistan, press 1. And they get them sometimes because they shoot so much. They shoot so much that they get them sometimes. And that's how they end up with like 12 kids. That's how that nigga end up with 12 kids, because every girl he get, he fuck her raw and bust a nut in her.
The brutal knife attack on the two sisters claimed the life of Samiyah Spain, who died of wounds to her neck and torso. Her sister is recovering from a wound to her arm. Their grieving family members are taking their space, while police search for a killer who couldn't take rejection.
As a woman, that's infuriating. You know, we are not allowed.
It's so much different, man. Now, don't get me wrong. Women in places like New York, white women get catcalled and shit like that. In DC, not so much. Dudes ain't running catcalling and cold approaching white women in DC. It's more so sisters that got to deal with that. But in New York, yeah, white women got to deal with that a little bit. But white women don't deal with it from white men. Press 1. White women don't deal with street harassment and catcalling from white men. They deal with it from fucking burritos and fucking sun turds. White men don't cold approach and harass and catcall women in the streets. They don't do that. I've been around. It be sun turds and fucking burritos doing that shit. You ain't never gonna see some white dude chasing some woman down the street begging for her number and shit. And getting mad and shit and cussing her out and calling her all type of bitches in public. I tell y'all this, man. I remember one time, like on my block, across the street, on my block, at the end of my block, across the street from where we used to hang out, was a church, right? And this church had a program in it, like for girls and shit, or some women or some shit, some kind of program, right? And the women would go over there every day, the young women and whatever, blah, blah, blah. So there's this one young girl, and we would group holler at bitches. We'd be like, hey, shorty. All of us be trying to holler at the same bitch from across the street. Hey, shorty, yada, 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 right? and she ignored us, right? It was like, man, fuck you, bitch. You raggedy ass bitch, yada yada, cussing her out, right? So after like a couple days of that, just cussing her out every time we seen her. One day we seen her, she I guess she came, her man came up there, it was a nigga, right? And it was some dude she was with, right? And this wasn't even like a big part of our day. This was just like we didn't even think about that shit. Like 2 minutes later, 30 seconds later, we wasn't even thinking about that shit no more. We was on to the next thing. Nobody was like tripping off this shit. It was just an event in a long list of things that would happen in that day, right? So one day she had a dude with her, and she was walking down the street with a dude, and these niggas was starting to yell at her and shit, cuss her out too, right? While she was with the dude, and I was like, nah, man, don't do that, man. Don't say shit to that bitch while she with her nigga, man, because you wouldn't want nobody to do that to you. Do you know these niggas was like, man, what, you scared? I'm like, what do you mean, am I scared? Whatever we holler, whenever we tried to holler at that bitch and she dissed us and shit or whatever, and she curved us and we cussed her out, let that be that moment. Now y'all niggas is getting weird. You see her with her man and shit, and you trying to cuss her out in front of her man and shit. Now you bringing possible beef to the block and shit, to where we at and shit. You bringing possible drama and shit over some shit that who gives a fuck? And even if dude ain't like that, why would you just see a couple walking down the street and start cussing a bitch out that you don't even know her fucking name? We ain't even know that bitch name. That's how crazy it gets. I had to tell these niggas, I had to tell these niggas this. I had to break it down to them like that. Like, yo, man, don't be cussing at that bitch from across the street while she walking with her nigga, man. Leave her alone, man. We could be standing out here one day and somebody just come through and flame our asses. And we ain't got no clue what happened. And it was his ass because he was walking with his girl and y'all fucking cussed her out and shit in front of him and hurt his pride. Salute to Nick Towser Javon, man. He says, sons have the most issues with crime by far, but are the most reluctant to work with law enforcement by far. More to the story, these niggas are protos. Facts, man. I'm telling you, man. I've been around, man. I spent years around. I don't know why, but I guess it was all for a reason. I spent years around, man. Niggas, man.
Allowed to say no to a man without the risk of violence, without the risk of losing our lives. And the fact that she was so young and had her whole life ahead of her, it's enraging.
Yeah, the surviving twin is now recovering at home, which is only a couple of blocks away. They were here getting a bite after a Saturday night, hanging out with friends. No word yet on whether the NYPD has identified a suspect, but again, there is that surveillance video, and there are witnesses who got a good look at him. Live in Park Slope, Sonia Rincon, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Salute to Aster J. Look at that face. Yo, no matter what this girl did, man, she didn't deserve. I'm tired of people talking about she was probably rude. She probably curved him, man. I could tell y'all niggas ain't been around, man. That bitch, she could have been nice. She could have been fucking, she could have been nice and sweet about it. And if the nigga if the nigga really wanted her, and if it was infatuated with her, and realized he couldn't have her, and got frustrated, and he drunk, and he with his boys, it could have still went the same way, even if she was nice. This girl, man. Where that nigga at, man? Where that fucking subspecies at? Black community? Where's that fucking gorilla, that goddamn, where's that dingleberry at, man? Somebody find that dingleberry and turn him into the police, man. What kind of community is this that protesting shit for George Floyd, but don't protest for this? You fucking piece of shit. What the fuck is that noise coming from? Okay. Yeah, look at this nigga, man. Look at him, man. I know niggas like this, man. He in the street. He think he hot shit because he out there a little bit. He out there. He off the porch and shit. He running with some niggas and shit. And he was gonna go to prison for however much time he got for this. He was gonna get it eventually for something else. This dude did not throw his life away. This dude was going to prison for something else real soon. I promise you that. Dudes who engage in behavior like this, it's a pattern, it's a hallmark. So they're constantly engaging in risky, crash out, reckless behavior. The only life that got thrown away in this instance was hers. Press 1. This shit stain was going to go to prison for something else really soon. That's it. And then we don't even know what his criminal record is. I'm sure he has a long criminal record that if he wasn't a fucking sun turd, he would have been under the jail. But black dudes get all types of breaks in the criminal justice system. We get 50 arrests and all these charges, and we still on the street. But this nigga was going to prison for something else. Trust me, I've been around, man. I seen these dudes. If he beat this, let's just say, right? Let's just say, where this happened? Is this happened in Manhattan? No, this Brooklyn. So let's just say, um, let's just say he beats this, right? Let's just say by some chance he beats this, right? He'll be in jail for something else in 2 years. Even if he beats this. If this son turd beats this, he'll be in prison. If they drop it, if they say, hey man, we don't have enough evidence, sorry, we gotta drop this case, this nigger will be in jail for something else in 2 years. I'm talking about prison. I'm talking about he'll be doing the same amount of time he would have got for this within 2 years. Everyone hit the like button, man. Continue to hit the like button. Don't ever stop hitting the like button. Salute the as you come in. Those of you who haven't hit the like button, hit it. Salute the Eric Gas Nation Hall of Famer coming through once again. Smash them like buttons, man. Smash them, man. That's why I'm telling you, even if he beats this, because you know it's New York, even if he were to beat this, even if he were to get off scot-free, I'm telling you, these guys that do this shit, they're going to prison anyway. You can't save them. That's why you white people are so stupid trying to save them. You can't save these.
Hi, my name is Evelina Renee.
And my name is Omar Harding. And we are assistant district attorneys at the Brooklyn DA's office.
Uh-oh.
Today.
Tell me this ain't music to your ears.
Hi, my name is Evelina Renee.
And my name is Omar Harding. And we are assistant district attorneys at the Brooklyn DA's office.
That ain't music to your ears, man.
Hi, my name is Evelina Renee.
And my name is Omar Harding. And we are assistant district attorneys at the Brooklyn DA's office.
That ain't music to y'all ears, man. Y'all don't seem too happy about that, man. What's wrong with y'all, man? Y'all don't seem too happy about that, man.
Hi, my name is Evelina Renee.
And my name is Omar Harding. And we are assistant district attorneys at the Brooklyn DA's office.
Today, we're here to tell you about an exciting new program that's part of the Justice 2020 initiative at the Brooklyn DA's office.
We now give people who were convicted of a low-level marijuana offense the chance to permanently erase those convictions from their record.
These convictions. Oh, great. Great. Awesome. This is so great. This is such a great thing to do. Empty the jails. Because that motherfucker who you had locked up on that marijuana conviction was also a fucking killer who's responsible for some of these cold cases. He's responsible for some of these robberies that haven't been solved. He's responsible for some other shit. And you just let his ass out of jail, you fucking moron.
We now give people who were convicted of a low-level marijuana offense the chance to permanently erase those convictions from their record.
These convictions can create problems in getting a job,
applying for housing, and receiving other benefits.
Yeah, that guy going a job. He gonna apply for an apartment, man. And they ain't got no fucking money for no down, no deposit, man. You need a deposit, man, for a fucking apartment, man. These dudes ain't got no fucking money. These dudes never had an apartment in their name, never had a fucking car in their name. I think a lot of people don't understand how bad it is, man. Most niggas ain't never had nothing in their name, man. Most niggas never went to a car dealership and bought a car off the lot. Most niggas never filled out an application for an apartment and went to an open house and shit, or went and viewed several apartments and filled out the paperwork and shit and put down the deposit and all that. These niggas ain't done none of that. What are you talking about?
These convictions can create problems in getting a job,
applying for housing, and receiving other benefits. They can also hurt your immigration status.
Participants in our program will receive free legal advice from public defenders who have partnered with our office.
These lawyers will assist you in filing a motion to erase your low-level marijuana conviction so that you can clean up your record and get a fresh start.
It's quick and easy and will take place at convenient locations right here in Brooklyn.
All you have to do is show up.
These people are demons, man.
My name's Ernest Chin. I'm a deputy bureau chief in the Homicide Bureau. I work in the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office, and this is my 17th year. So in the Asian American and Pacific Islander community, I identify as Chinese American. My parents were both born in China. They were born in Canton. They immigrated here when they were pretty young, but I was born here. Actually, when I first started public school here, I actually didn't even speak English. My parents wanted to make sure that I knew the Chinese language, I spoke, I read, and that's actually what they had me learn as a child. They had me listen to traditional Chinese music. They enrolled me in Chinese school. I actually took Kung Fu. I learned how to do line dancing. My mom actually taught me how to make different traditional Chinese foods. So my parents wanted to instill in me a knowledge and appreciation of where my ancestors came from growing up. I'm trying to do the same thing with my son as well. So my son, we put him through Chinese school. He's actually in martial arts. I've tried playing him some of the traditional Chinese music, but he doesn't really like that part. I think a lot of times in terms of being an assistant district attorney and just being an Asian American, I think even just the fact that the AAPI community knows that we're here, I think it's a big deal. We are represented. During the time of that I've been in the office, I've had cases both from when I was just doing general crimes and of course being in homicide, where there have been families of the deceased who are Chinese or particularly Chinese who.
And in all those cases, the perpetrator been black, present.
Who do have a distrust of the system. And I feel it's kind of my doing my part to communicate to them, knowing that, so that they understand that they do have representation in our office. There are Asian American prosecutors, and we are there fighting for justice for them, and they don't have to fear the system, and that we can help guide them through it. Our office, I believe, is probably the most, if not one of the most diverse district attorney's offices there is.
Oh, God. Jesus.
Hi, my name is Prabhalia Pulam, and I'm an ADA in the Hate Crimes Bureau. I identify as South Indian. My parents were both born in Madurai, which is a small village in the state of Tamil Nadu, which is in South India.
I've always wanted to prosecute hate crimes. I believe that everything we do in this office is important and meaningful, but I found that after I started working in this office in 2018 as an ADA, I was gravitating towards the prosecution of hate crimes and working with victims of hate crimes. When members of the community come to the table to meet the person that
So they're very diverse office up there, man. A lot of diversity going on in the Brooklyn District Attorney office. Diversity is their strength.
Manhunt intensifies. The gunfire erupted back on March 4th on the 6200 block of Ogons Avenue and killed a student from Imhotep Charter. Monday night, and the big story on Action News is the latest in the murder investigation of 17-year-old Damon Taylor, and Philadelphia police asking for the public's help in identifying his killers. Action News reporter Walter Perez is live at police headquarters with the full story. Walter.
Well, Rick, as you mentioned, the biggest new detail is surveillance images, giving us a better look at the gunman responsible. Philadelphia police want you to take a good look at these surveillance images. Investigators say these are the two people involved in that horrific shooting that took the life of 17-year-old Damon Taylor back on March 4th. Authorities say several people, including Taylor, were boarding a SEPTA bus at Broad and Godfrey when the suspects opened fire. Taylor was killed. 4 others were wounded. In these images, you can see one of the gunmen.
Now, this is a different shooting. This isn't the shooting where they got the 4 sun turds. They got everybody in custody for that one shooting where they shot the 8 teens. This is a different shooting in Philadelphia on the bus.
Taylor was killed. 4 others were wounded. In these images, you can see one of the gunmen wearing a hooded sweatshirt that says emotional on the front with this message on the back. Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel tells Action News he's optimistic these images will help investigators find the people responsible.
We're not going to stop in our work. We're going to continue to work hard to bring people to justice who engage in this type of behavior.
Investigators are also still working to see if this case might be linked to another shooting 2 days later, also involving a SEPTA bus stop, during which 8 Northeast High School students were shot in the Burr Holmes section of the city. Commissioner Bethel says what's most alarming is the number of young people involved in these cases.
Watching the number of kids that were shot around the school, never thought it would continue. I'd hope we had gotten to a place where we were able to stop that from happening.
We spoke with people who live and work in the city who say, quite frankly, they never thought the issue of crime would become this severe.
There's a lot of stuff going on in this neighborhood.
Yeah, they coming off like 4 years where they've had almost 2,000 murders in the last 4 years, and they people up and they say stupid shit like this.
But you got to be aware.
People who live and work in the city who say, quite frankly, they never thought the issue of crime would become this severe.
There's a lot of stuff going on in this neighborhood, but you got to be aware.
There have been, shootings in this area from time to time, but nothing to that magnitude.
Now, along with the 2 people in those images, police are also looking for a 17-year-old linked to that other shooting that I mentioned on March 6th. Anyone with further information about either of these cases is asked to contact police. Reporting live from police headquarters, Walter Perez, Channel 6.
Emotions overflowing from family and friends who knew the driver best. Police say the incident started when a man confronted a tow truck driver about his car that was being hauled away. Now a community rallying around that driver demanding justice. News 4's Jessica Cunnington is live in East Flatbush with more. Jess?
Yeah, Gilma, you're about to hear from the victim's son and daughter in just a moment, but I want to get right to new surveillance video obtained by News 4. I want you to take a look at this right here of the final moments here. That man in white is 61-year-old Carlisle Thomas. The man in black is that tow truck driver. You see the car there up on the truck. You could see that Carlisle Thomas is very expressive. He's upset that his car is getting towed. They exchange words back and forth, and then Carlisle opens up the front door of that truck, and then here comes that punch. This was a punch so
That was a Sun Man. If a Sun Man punched the 61-year-old and killed him, that was the Sun Man that did that shit. Think about this, man. No restraint, man. Zero ability to restrain yourselves. You're on the job, man. The customer's always right. You're towing his car. He's pissed. He's acting like a jackass. He's an old, frail man. You don't get to fucking sucker punch him and shit. It's not right. Yeah, but he did. Yeah, but you still don't get to fucking haul off and punch him with all your might. And you killed him. And now you're going to prison. But I was working, man. I was doing everything right, man. Ever since I came home from jail, I started working, man. And this dude, man, yo, man, you got to be able to show restraint, man. Salute to Show Seguno, man. Seguino. He says, look, when it boils down to illegals versus brothers, I'm low down cold with those 500 brothers, yo. You like brothers over illegals? Okay, see how that works out. Salute to Nick Tajavon. He says, on CT stream today, I said 33% of black men have felonies. And everybody on the, oh, that was you? Okay, that was you. Okay, yeah, I saw that, man. I think that's a high number, man. I would say 15%, man. I would cut that in half. 33% is a huge number, man. If 33% of black men have felonies, it would be nobody left in this country, man. This country would be depopulated. That's a huge number. Now, could I say 33% of black men have been arrested at some point? I could do that. But felonies? Nah. A lot of them have felonies, though. Yeah, man, it wouldn't be nobody left in this country if 33% of us had felonies.
that Carlisle Thomas is very expressive. He's upset that his car is getting towed. They exchange words back and forth. And then Carlisle opens up the front door of that truck. And then here comes that punch. This was a punch so hard that police say Carlisle fell to the ground. And tonight he is gone.
Just to get in this, that's what he stands for.
Now Carlisle Thomas's family and community are together to honor his life and stand up for him.
He had a long life ahead of him. Even though he was 60 years old, he should have died from old age, not from somebody assaulting him.
Candles circled the Shell gas station at Rockaway Parkway and Clarkson Avenue Sunday night, right next to Thomas's apartment building. He came here every day. His family says he helped out inside the store. But Saturday, police say an argument between the 61-year-old and a tow truck driver here turned deadly.
For $10 in a parking spot. That's ridiculous.
Thomas's family says for more than 10 years now, Thomas would pay gas station management to park here if he needed to. Saturday, his family says he didn't have the money. They say the manager called a tow company.
Wow, that's cold, man. That's cold, man. Well, why didn't he move the car before the tow truck came? Oh, maybe he didn't. I don't know. I don't know. That's cold though. So they should be mad at the tow truck manager, man. Because if the tow truck manager would have never called him, the son man would have never killed him, man. Mental health, man. We need more resources for mental health, man. So black tow truck drivers don't kill senior citizens, man.
Saturday, his family says he didn't have the money. They say the manager called a tow company.
And he didn't have the $10 at the moment. And in my mind, I believe that my dad thought it was okay to park here. And in the morning, he would take care of it with a guy because he know him. My dad lived here 10 years, but he know the guy since the 90s.
Thomas's daughter says a different employee called her father to tell him to come down because his car was getting towed. That's when he tried to stop the 30-year-old driver. Police say an argument escalated and the tow driver punched Thomas in the face. He hit the pavement and died.
He was irate, but he didn't charge at nobody. His intent isn't to hurt anybody. He cared for people too much. He was upset. He thought that these people would have his back.
His photos now posted on the windows of the gas station shop.
No, what's because it happened so unexpectedly. Like we were expecting like.
Of course, it's Sandmen that own the gas station in the hood. Of course, we've still yet to see a fucking sun turd own anything in any black hood in any city other than a fucking barbershop.
He was a family member in here.
My father's the person that took everybody's kids to school every morning. You didn't have to worry about being late for work.
Their mission now is getting justice for their father.
I need that tow truck guy to do time, like serious time. I'm not talking no 5, no 10 years.
And tonight, sources tell us that 30-year-old tow truck driver is in police custody. Charges are pending. Live in.
Police say they opened fire on a 20-year-old man who was chasing two people around the neighborhood.
Link in description, man. Link in description box, man. Link in the description box. Shout out to Bugger Off, man. He gifted another Ock Nation membership. Shout out to Bugger Off, man.
While shooting at them.
Tonight, you can still see some of the evidence.
Police say they opened fire on a 20-year-old man who was chasing two people around the neighborhood while shooting at them.
Tonight, you can still see some of the evidence left behind, including a car's shattered window right there in East Flatbush. CBS 2's Lisa Rosler live on the scene tonight with the latest. Lisa.
Well, Christina, Maurice, you can see behind me, this is still a very active investigation. The NYPD says this happened within a roughly 2-block radius ending here on East 57th Street and Remsen Avenue. The NYPD says responding officers walked towards danger in the middle of gunfire. They saved the two people that were being targeted. And tonight, they also say an innocent bystander was shot but is expected to survive. The making of a social media music video interrupted by gunfire. Police say Monday, just before 6 p.m., 3 different calls came over. One for a dispute, one for a man with a gun, and a third for shots fired at Linden Boulevard and East 57th Street.
What's the identity of the shooter, man? Look at this carnage, man. This is carnage. Link in description box. Anybody want to come up, man? Look at this carnage, man. It's just constant, man. This shit is constant. We don't stop. We're a subspecies, man. And we're just being allowed to do this shit, man.
And a third for shots fired at Linden Boulevard and East 57th Street.
I was just sitting on the roof shooting content for my music, and we just heard like
10 shots go off, just pop, 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 pop. But it was like back and forth, like rapid.
Officers from the 67th precinct searched the area for 7 minutes in an unmarked vehicle until they turned onto 57th and Remsen.
What they see is a male chasing another male and female, firing numerous rounds, trying to shoot them. Our officers jump out quickly, and they take care of the threat.
He says cops shot the 20-year-old male suspect numerous times, and he was later pronounced dead at Kings County Hospital. Police say they recovered this 9mm handgun. The two people the gunman was targeting were not injured. It's not clear what prompted him to target them.
Like it could have.
Yeah, are those people gonna have a fucking press conference thanking the police for saving their fucking lives? Are those people gonna fucking take out a fucking make a Facebook post? Are those two fucking sun turds that were getting chased down the street by this maniac gonna make a Facebook post thanking the police for saving their lives? And you can answer that question.
Dead at Kings County Hospital. Police say they recovered this 9mm hand.
Chasing another male and female, firing a male, chasing another male and female, firing numerous rounds, trying to shoot them. Our officers jump out quickly, and they take care of the threat.
He says cops shot the 20-year-old male suspect numerous times, and he was later pronounced dead at Kings County Hospital. Police say they recovered this 9mm handgun. The two people the gunman was targeting were not injured. It's not clear what prompted him to target them.
Like it could have hit us, if anything.
Just north of where cops fired at the shooter, police say a 60-year-old bystander was struck twice by wayward bullets, once in the arm and another time in the stomach. He is expected to serve.
Of course, a senior. Of course, some random senior in the vicinity had to get hit with a stray. It wouldn't have been a Sunman if a random senior didn't get hit with a stray bullet.
Was targeting were not injured. It's not clear what prompted him to target them.
Like it could have hit us, if anything.
Just north of where cops fired at the shooter, police say a 60-year-old bystander was struck twice by wayward bullets, once in the arm, another time in the stomach. He is expected to survive, and it's not clear if the bullets were from police or the suspect. The unmarked NYPD vehicle was also struck during the exchange of gunfire, but officers did not get hit. Officers were taken to local hospitals for observation.
They ran towards the threat when they heard the shots, and they took care of the threat and saved two people's lives.
And you can see here on East 57th Street, several hours after this, police are still on the scene looking for additional evidence. We are learning new information tonight about the 20-year-old suspect. Police say he does not have any prior arrests, but it is still not clear what prompted the shooting. We are live in East Flatbush, Brooklyn.
That means nothing, man.
Court appearance today for the man accused of going on a shooting rampage in Bucks County this past weekend. 26-year-old Andre Gordon faces multiple charges, including murder, after allegedly killing 3 of his loved ones. And now, as the victims' families grieve, our Allie Reed was there to hear from them for the first time. Allie.
Right, Sheba, exactly as you mentioned. We are hearing from victims of Saturday's incident for the very first time. Taylor Daniels' mother, Nancy, recounting the scary incident that happened in her home over the weekend, visibly shaken, speaking to us earlier this afternoon. But ultimately, she wants people to know that her daughter died a hero protecting her children.
She was a great person. She loved those girls more than anything in the world. She did everything she could for them.
Nancy Daniels says her daughter, Taylor, was a hero Saturday, protecting her 2 daughters from their father, 26-year-old.
She paid the cold toll, man. She paid the cold toll.
people to know that her daughter died a hero protecting her children.
She was a great person. She loved those girls more than anything in the world.
If she was such
She
a
did
great
everything-
person, what the fuck was she doing with this guy? Press 1. If she was such a great person, she would have did this dude just like the girl at the bodega did the dude that stabbed her. Why she didn't curve this guy when he tried to holler? If she's such a great person. A nigga that would shoot his own fucking 13-year-old fucking sister and kill her. If she's such a fucking great person. Why she with that guy?
Daughter died a hero protecting her children.
She was a great person. She loved those girls more than anything in the world. She did everything she could for them.
Nancy Daniels says her daughter Taylor, the hero Saturday, protecting her 2 daughters from their father, 26-year-old Andre Gordon.
She may have saved their lives. If she hadn't moved them, maybe they'd be dead too. I don't know.
Daniel recounting for us the horrific moments leading up to her daughter's death. As she says, Gordon, now facing 32 charges, including varying counts of murder, broke down their door in Levittown.
He busted down the door here and came in through the hallway, and she had wrangled the girls into the bedroom to try and hide them.
She says he shot Taylor, killing her.
I started hitting him with an axe handle, and that's when he came after me, and the gun broke and he left.
Daniel left with lacerations to her face, bruises on her arms, and cuts. It was just minutes prior when officers were called to a home on Viewpoint Lane in Falls Township for a reported shooting. It's there where police say Gordon shot and killed his stepmother, Karen, and his 13-year-old sister, Kira.
I said, please tell me it wasn't Kira. Please tell me it wasn't Kira.
Neighbors shocked by the news. Law enforcement saying it was just after 8:50 when Gordon pulled up to the home, all caught on a neighbor's Ring camera.
He heard 10 shots. Then he heard him, saw him come around, jump back in the vehicle, and take off and make a right down on him.
Following the murder of his children's mother, Taylor, police say Gordon then carjacked a driver at gunpoint in the parking lot of the Dollar General in Morrisville, driving that car to a home along Phillips Avenue in Trenton, where he barricaded himself inside.
Yo, he was on one,
captured
man.
5:30 that evening at a separate location from the
Yeah, I mean, he crashed out, man. Some men are crashing out left and right, man.
Nah, but this is big. This one was big.
Yeah, it was big. Yeah, it was multi-cross state lines, man. He did like
for real.
Like why liberals ain't running around bitching about him crossing state lines and shit. Shit crazy, man.
Fuck. And the 13-year-old sister. Yo, this I can't help but like not feel bad for this. Like, how do you not like know what you're getting yourself into at a certain point with a dude like that, man?
Yeah, like he ain't just pop up like this. He was he was always like that.
Had to have seen it.
Yeah,
like, had to have seen it through.
Yeah, man. She paid the cold toll, man.
Hey. He was fucking that. No disrespect, but respectfully.
Backed a driver at gunpoint in the parking lot of the Dollar General in Morrisville, driving that car to a home along Phillips Avenue in Trenton, where he barricaded himself inside. He was captured just before 5:30 that evening at a separate location from the barricade. Gordon's father and brother were back at the scene in Falls Township Monday to meet with investigators. Broken glass from the incident still at the base of their front door. They could be seen embracing and hugging neighbors.
Things like this don't happen to us in this close
Because
proximity.
it's a white neighborhood. Things like that don't happen. The fucking mud shark brought this shit. If it wasn't for the fucking mud shark, the filthy fish, none of this shit would have happened in that neighborhood. Press 1.
She doesn't realize she doesn't live on MLK.
Yeah. That
Or
filthy
Malcolm X.
fish brought that fucking sun turd over there, and now you got fucking issues. And she's just oblivious. She's just like, that's not why this doesn't happen over here. Yeah,
I
no
feel
shit.
like gliders are in their own world. It's actually nuts
Yeah.
sometimes. Like, can
They're
I?
very oblivious.
I guess like understand where it comes from because like this is all they know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't even leave their area sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And they can't fathom it. Like
No.
also they're prisoners to their own nature. They're prisoners to their own nature. It's just like how like gliders, they couldn't imagine like not like manipulating their environment, like a dam, aqueduct, a canal, a trench, doing stuff like that. They would be shocked seeing suns just like if nature didn't make it, we ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Water purifiers.
Yeah, like shit, like sump pumps and all this shit they create. They don't know that suns. We don't do any of that. We just motherfucking roll with whatever's there, and we just roll with that, man. So we're different on so many levels, and yeah, they're prisoners. We do that too, though. Like we can't fathom the way gliders are, man. We can't fathom the way they are. We can't fathom that. Like one thing about when I was coming up, black people used to always make fun of white people because they would talk to their kids. You know what I'm saying? They would like, reason with their kids and shit like that and try to like, what are you feeling, Bobby? Bobby, tell me why you're having a temper tantrum. You know what I'm saying? And niggas would be like, shit, you just whoop the kid's ass. Fuck that. Whoop his ass. That'll straighten him out.
Himself inside. He was captured just before 5:30 that evening at a separate location from the barricade. Gordon's father and brother were back at the scene in Falls Township Monday to meet with investigators. Broken glass from the incident still at the base of their front door. They could be seen embracing and hugging neighbors.
Things like this don't happen to us in this close proximity. It's just something that doesn't happen around here.
And speaking to Taylor's mother, Nancy, she explained some of the incidents leading up to Saturday's situation. She said that Andre was acting erratic for weeks, knocking on their door, and other situations that had ensued previously. Now, in terms of the funeral arrangements, they say they are hoping to do that later this week, but that's not confirmed at this time just yet. We're at the Falls Township Police Department. Allie Reed, Fox 29 News.
Just so heartbreaking. Allie, thank you.
His music was a plea to stop the violence. Last night, he became the latest homicide victim in Philadelphia.
28-year-old Derek Gant, also known by his rap name Fat G's, was gunned down on a Broytown street on the same block.
Fat G's.
What a name.
Another day, another dead rapper.
You don't have a lot of rappers with the name Fat at the start no more.
Mm-mm.
The only person I can think off the top of my head is Fat Joe. That's it.
Fat Joe, yeah.
And that's not anything new. That is not new.
Yeah, man. This guy, I'd never heard of him a day in my life, but
me either. Shit.
But yeah, man, I'm sure I'm sure he was known in his city and his town.
His music was a plea to stop the violence. Last night, he became the latest homicide victim in Philadelphia.
28-year-old Derek Gant, also known by his rap name Fat G's, was gunned down on a Broytown street on the same block where he lived with his family.
Monday night, the big story on Action News is the investigation into the violent death of a young man who used his lyrics to spread a message of peace.
Tonight, he's being remembered by his family, his community, and his fellow musicians.
Action News reporter Annie McCormick live for us now at police headquarters with more on the victim and what police are learning through the investigation, Annie.
Yeah, and Shari and Rick, that victim was shot multiple times right in front of his home. Police scooped him and rushed him to Penn Presbyterian Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. And today, homicide detectives are still working to figure out who is responsible.
Killers all in my city can't get enough of it.
28-year-old rapper Fat G's is remembered today in the music world. Meek Mill tweeted.
What did they say? His music was what did they say at the beginning? Hold on.
Yeah, replay that real quick.
His music was a plea to stop the violence.
His music was a plea to stop the violence.
28-year-old rapper Fat G's is remembered today in the music world. Meek Mill tweeted this about his untimely passing. Popular radio
This
host.
is what Meek Mill said. The woke Meek Mills, man, prison crime reform Meek Mills said, R.I.P. Fat G's. Philly is a terrible place for black people to live. You see too much death. Shaking my head. Oh, if somebody else says that, Meek Mill gonna fucking check him and shit. But he get to say that.
You notice that? Hey, at least he's being honest.
Yeah, but if somebody else says it, he gonna fucking call him a coon.
Oh, hell
and if a
yeah.
white person says that, he gonna call him racist. But he gets to say that. Fuck them. Fuck those type of. I hate those people like that. They get to say that shit, but we can't. But can't nobody else say that shit.
It's not even a double standard. This is like a triple standard at this point.
Yeah.
28-year-old rapper Fat G's is remembered today in the music world. Meek Mill tweeted this about his untimely passing. Popular radio host Mina Say What Lona first interviewed him 10 years ago.
Yo, bro, we going back to the studio.
It's just really heartbreaking that this young man was literally advocating against the senseless violence that ultimately he was the victim of.
It was just last fall when he dropped this song, No Gun Zone, about curbing gun violence. His friends and family know him as 28-year-old Derek Gant.
He was a good dude, you know. All yesterday praying at the masjid all day. He doing his good deeds, trying to feed the homeless.
10 p.m. Sunday, right in front of his Brewery Town home
cut
in
your
the
hair off,
1200
man.
block of North Taney Street, Gant was shot to death.
Just give it
At least a dozen
I
shots
know.
were fired. His
He's
mother
holding on
was
to those
inside.
last two
Today out
braids.
front, his friends and family surrounded his imam.
That's what, one of the last things that, he died doing, trying to repair the damage that sadly the culture's caused.
Investigators have video of Gant speaking to someone in the passenger side of a vehicle on the street before the shots rang out. That vehicle then fled. At this hour, police have no arrests.
Too many people are dying. Time for excuses are over.
And you can see the outpouring of support for Gant on social media. With every homicide in the city of Philadelphia, there is a $20,000 for information that does lead to an arrest and a conviction.
Let's see some of the styles of Fat G's, man. Fat G. How did you spell it? How do you spell it? Fat. Okay, P-H-A-T. Fat G's.
Yo, what's it called? I think Nick Javon said it, but 33% of black men have felonies. And he's not lying, dude. I was just check. It's a real fact. It was done in 2017. If I'm correct. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. 2017. The National Institute of Health government website says we estimate that 3% of the U.S. adult population and 50% of the African American adult male population has been to prison. People with felony convictions account for 8% of all adults and 33% of the African American male adult population.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Damn. Fuck.
That's quite a bit. I'm not gonna
I
lie
got
to you.
felony, so I mean it's true, but I mean I didn't think everybody did. That's crazy, man. Damn.
I mean it's 33%, so I mean it's not like it's half, but I mean
Man, that's a
still not
huge
good.
number.
That's still a lot
that's-
of people.
no, that's
33% is a
fucking
lot.
Yo, 10% would be a lot, man. 10% would be a lot. Felonies.
considering
It's
that
okay.
you guys are what, like 13%, 14% of the U.S. population. That's quite a bit. I think about it.
That's a huge number, man.
Yeah, that's a lot. Oh my god.
Yeah, man, that's a huge number, man. Too big. Pause.
Yeah, it's one of three.
Shit.
One of three African American.
There is a lot of video in this case. There is video of the suspect's car. There is video of the actual crime taking place. Some of the most emotional video we have seen so far. The first minutes, Philadelphia police actually on the scene here. Keep in mind, this shooting scene right on the border of Montgomery County and Philadelphia. 2 officers came upon this scene when they saw a woman running towards that parking lot, having no idea what had happened. They get there, they check out that car, and it was those officers that discovered that 11-year-old boy in the back seat. He was hysterical. The jury saw that video of this little boy saying he just came up and started shooting.
Prosecutors say finding the suspected killer of Rachel King didn't take them long. The alleged shooter, Zaki Al-Hakim, had been seen by multiple witnesses on April 11, running from the scene and getting into a 2003 Mercury Sable. Prosecutors told a jury that Sable was bought by Julie Jean, who they say hatched a plan to kill King months prior. They say Jean tried multiple times to rekindle her relationship with her ex-boyfriend. And when it didn't work, they say, she harassed him and his current girlfriend, who was Rachel King. A restraining order had been issued against Jean months before the killing. Prosecutors told a jury Jean tried again and again to reconnect with that man. Once he rejected her for the last time, she reached out to Al-Hakim, bought him a Mercury Sable, and paid for a gun. Prosecutors say the gun wasn't used just to kill King, but in a Philadelphia shooting days before, and evidence from the crimes matches up. Defense lawyers say while the murder was caught on video, no one has positively identified Al-Hakim as the killer.
And that's something that's
So much treachery. Like
Al-Hakim? That guy sounds like a fucking genie.
Look at these black people. Like she killed that. She got that man to kill that other black woman because she was dating her ex-boyfriend. And these fucking sunturds get to show up in court with suits. That shows you how fucking crazy gliders are. Like this fucking goddamn subhuman gets to show up in a suit, and the jury has to see him in a suit. Like they don't know him from a can of paint, and he shows up in a suit. And with that kind of like sways your mind a little bit. Like, oh, this guy's in a suit. Oh, this motherfucker would probably be in some dirty jeans, sagging jeans, and a tank top. If you've seen him 100 days out of 100 days. But in America, in glider society, he gets to show up for his trial in a suit with a jury. And they see him in a suit. And it's just a different feel. It's just different.
Has positively identified.
They should make these fucking sunturds dress the same way they dressed on the streets so the jury could know who the fuck they're dealing with.
As the killer.
And that's something that the defense is trying to show when it cross-examines the prosecutor's witnesses, that so far there hasn't been that one person to say, definitely, this person was here at the scene, having to do with both of these defendants. Now, this case, almost a year old, but some of the most emotional testimony we saw, an officer that was charged with taking care of that 11-year-old boy in the time right after his mother was killed, almost breaking down on the stand, trying to explain to the jury what it was like to be with that child in the moments after his mother was murdered. That's the very latest. Reporting live in Norristown, Deanna Durante, NBC 10 News.
All this black crime all over the fucking place, man.
Tonight at 6, more questions after 3 separate shootings in Jacksonville Beach. Police shared this surveillance video showing people running after they heard gunshots. The police chief did not mince words today when speaking publicly about the violence.
For the victims, of course, always, because people come to the city who enjoy themselves. They live here, they visit here, and quite frankly, I'm pissed off.
Now, police are shedding light on how they prepared for this large gathering of young people at the beach and what happened in the moments before gunshots rang out. We are still working to learn who was killed and who was hurt during last night's 3 shootings.
We do know a 21-year-old man lost his life. Police also tell us 2 men were hurt when they shot at each other. They also hurt an innocent bystander. News for Jax reporters Janice Harris, Marilyn Parker. They're live in Jacksonville Beach tonight. We want first to get you to News for Jax reporter Scott Johnson, who joins us live from Jacksonville Beach City Hall.
Well, Jax Beach City Council right now is having their regularly weekly meeting, likely discussing the chaos that unfolded. First, in the distance, you can kind of see the Jax Beach Pier. Near there is where the first shots rang out. And then over here, blocks away at First Street and Beach Boulevard, another shooting, chaos. They had to lock down the entire central business district, saying essentially they had a mass shooting incident with an active shooter. The general mood remains shock right now at Jacksonville Beach. What do you think when you see this and you come and it's your first time?
Well, I loved it, but as I'm sitting here today and he tells me that, it gets a little frightening.
Who thinks this woman loved it? Who thinks this woman really loved it, or she's just saying that? Because I'm gonna show you what was happening down there, and I want you to tell me if you think this woman loved it, or she's just being a fucking glider and saying what she's supposed to say to not ruffle any feathers.
Just look at her facial expression. She wasn't being genuine.
This is what was going on down at that beach moments before the shots rang out. This is literal footage from Jacksonville Beach moments before the shots rang out. And she told me, I love that. Well, man, what did you love about the diversity, the culture, all people from different areas, different walks of life, sharing the beach. Shut the fuck up. You didn't love this shit. You got down there and you were like, whoa, what the fuck? Fuck is going on here?
Shooter. The general mood remains shock right now at Jacksonville Beach. What do you think when you see this and you come and it's your first time?
Well, I loved it, but as I'm sitting here today and he tells me that, it gets a little frightening to think that this stuff happens anywhere, It's just, I wonder where it's safe anymore.
I think it's terrible. I mean, people come out here to have fun and you got to worry about bullets flying around.
There were 3 separate incidents of gunfire following a spring break event on the sand called Drunk Day at the Beach. No arrests have been made.
We believe at this time that the first 2 victims were shooting at each other, and they're both victim suspects at this time. The third person was an innocent civilian from out of town visiting the hotel, was struck by gunfire. So I got 3 in serious condition, but stable at hospitals on incident 1. Incident 2, no injuries, no one hit by gunfire.
The chief went on to say that the suspect was able to get away from police and was wearing a ski mask. Now, while they don't have that suspect in custody, they did recover a pistol from that incident. So it's hard to follow. There's so many things happening. 3 separate shootings, a lot of people involved. We do know one of the people at the hospital was declared by JSO as a certified gang member. That person, a victim in the shooting, but also a suspect in this case. But as far as any other shooters, Jacksonville Beach Police don't have anyone in custody. If you know anything about this, contact the Jacksonville.
3 shootings on the beach. Nobody in custody.
That's horrifying. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's fucking terrible. No one arrested. Zero.
That's the case with almost all of these. Like it seems like at least 75% of these nobody's in custody. It's just
I
a
have
different
I have
community,
no
man.
words.
Yeah, it's a different
Truly.
community. Like because to have bandwidth for that, to be like, yeah, I get for it to be cool that shooter's just out there, man. He just and then there's another shooting a few days later that takes your mind off the last shooting, and then there's another shooting a few days after that. And before you know it, you completely forgot that those 3 shootings happened and no one's in custody.
Yo,
Jacksonville Beach.
I know that white lady at the start was, she seemed like real collected with herself while she was talking about it. She is horrified right now, man. I know for a goddamn fact she's like
without a doubt
shaking in her boots right now.
Yeah,
thinking that she could walk out one day from her house and just get blasted in the face.
Yeah.
But oh my God.
And nobody will be in custody.
Oh no.
And she's learned, she's a white woman, so she's learned that these people are victims and everything stacked against them and redlining and all this shit she's learned in her life. And I promise you, she's fighting with reality. She's like, gliders want to be right? Gliders, they have egos. They wouldn't be who they were if they weren't seeking solutions. So part of seeking solutions and problem solving is wanting to be right. So if you've already solved something, like they've already solved the black problem, they need more stuff, more free stuff, and better this and better that. And we got to take a step back and make ourselves small and lift them up. They've already had the solution. So if you're a problem solving glider and you've already got the solution for the black problem, you're going to keep leaning on that rather than relying on your fucking eyes that are showing you, oh, these people are subhumans.
Beach Police Department. We're live in Jax Beach. Scott Johnson, Channel 4, the local station.
And Scott, I know you were here at the station last night when the newsroom started getting reports about what was going on. Can you walk us through what was going on in your head as you were working through this as a journalist?
Yeah, so we didn't know at first. We got some initial unconfirmed reports there may have been some sort of shooting near the Ritz Bar, a popular bar, and we kind of decided collectively, St. Patrick's Day night, it's spring break, it's a busy night with the players. Let's send a photojournalist, which we did. The photojournalist gets on the scene, starts seeing a lot of chaos when he gets here. So News for Jax reporter Alicia Hatcher contacts the Jacksonville Beach Police spokesperson. Can you tell us what's going on? All we got was a text message. It was about 4 words that said, active shooter, stay away. So immediately when we saw that, I remember screaming in the newsroom, get us on TV right now. We got on immediately, and we did not go off the air for about 4.5 hours because we knew this was a serious situation, and we learned in minutes after going on air just how serious it was. They did have multiple shootings in the area, no one in custody. They were locking down this whole area. Just a scary scene last night. Fortunately, no further casualties, but one person did pass away in this. Ken, back to you.
Scott Johnson reporting live from Jacksonville Beach. Thank you, Scott.
Fuck.
It's too sunny on the beach.
Folks, we want to show you exactly how close all 3 incidents were to one another. They were all within 3 blocks. You see them indicated here. They were all south of the pier. This area referred to as the bar district. There are a handful of bars and restaurants here. The first shooting happened right here at 7:50 p.m., where 2 young men shot at each other on the boardwalk. Each suspected gun and an innocent bystander were hurt. All 3 of them were taken to the hospital for their injuries. We're told one of them is a gang member. Now, that second incident happened here, 8:13. That's when the man in a ski mask was seen running past the bar holding a gun. We're told he fired a shot. No one was hurt. And then at 8:31, this is where the third shooting happened. A 21-year-old man was killed after a disturbance in the parking lot near Beach Boulevard. 3 minutes later, police declared the situation that active shooter event, putting all the bars in this area on lockdown. People were evacuated from the businesses, with bars forced to close hours early. News for Jax reporter Janice Harris joining us live in our district of Jacksonville Beach. Janice, closing early, of course, a big impact on the business.
Yeah, look at the impact Suns have. Now these businesses got to close early.
Yo,
They've ruined Miami Beach, and then they went
imagine
up to
dying.
Jacksonville. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, imagine dying over a petty argument in the goddamn car parking lot. Something small, like maybe someone nicked the back of your bumper trying to get through.
Well, they looked at
maybe
you.
took your parking spot, or they looked at you wrong.
Yeah.
They looked at you wrong. Some stupid. Like,
Imagine being a business in Miami and fucking having to fucking close early and shit and lose hundreds of thousands of dollars and shit in revenue. And be like, fuck this shit, man. I'm going to Jacksonville Beach. And then these fucking sun-turds follow you up there and fucking ruin your business up there.
Businesses, wouldn't you think?
just can't escape it.
Yes, closing early. And now some people are divided on whether they want to keep coming down here or not. But I'm standing in an area where the parking lot just behind me is where one man was shot and killed in one of those 3 incidents. People still very concerned about what happened here. But when I talked to people today, some people told me they'll keep coming down to Jax Beach. Though the violence has happened, that won't deter them from coming down here and enjoying the area. While others said they're going to take a pause. Lights and sirens flashing everywhere. This is video from one woman's phone after she and a friend caught an Uber to leave Jacksonville Beach after the 3 shootings. She wanted to remain anonymous, but talked to me by phone. She was at a bar at the beaches when the first shooting happened.
Around like 7:40, 7:50ish, all of a sudden they were like, patios closed, everyone get inside.
This was around the same time a shooting happened on the boardwalk where 2 people shot each other and an innocent bystander was shot too. Another shooting happened at 8:13 p.m. and another at 8:31 p.m. One person died. Jacksonville Beach Police Chief executed an active shooter alert. Businesses were forced to lock down and then close early. The woman by phone says she's staying away from the beaches for now.
Do you plan on coming back to the beaches to hang out in the future?
As of right now, honestly, no. I think it's always been like a fear in like the back of my mind, like something like that happening.
One woman who has lived at the beach remains optimistic despite Sunday's shootings. Do you think the business is fine?
Well, I think it's an unfortunate time for businesses. Last night was one of the busiest nights for them to make some good money, you know? I don't have that answer. I don't know. I'm not a business owner. So I don't know, but I sure as heck hope not. But, you know, our beaches get packed during summertime. And I think people are still going to support us. I think some people are going to have fear. It depends upon your life experiences.
Jacksonville Beach's police chief told the media this morning that he has plans to continue keeping the beach safe, but he wouldn't give details.
Hey, I got one way you can keep the beach safe. The 3 shootings that happened there the other day, you could find the people who did those. Start there. Unfucking believable, man.
She's got to remain positive. She owns a house there.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, what the fuck?
Yeah, she can't. She's stuck. She's on short sale. Wow. Eric Adams is in trouble. Oh shit.
Whatever.
Mayor Adams is denying allegations that he sexually assaulted a woman in 1993.
The accuser filed a lawsuit today. We
In
want to warn you here.
1993, my God.
That's so
Mayor
damn far
Adams
back.
is denying allegations that he sexually assaulted a woman in 1993.
The accuser filed a lawsuit today. We want to warn you here. The details are graphic. CBS 2's Dick Brennan here now with more on all of this. Dick.
Maurice and Christine, the accuser says she worked with Adams when he was a transit cop. She says this happened decades ago when she says she went to Adams for help with an employment issue. The allegation against Adams stems from an incident the accuser claims happened in 1993. In the lawsuit, she alleges Adams told her he would drive her home, but instead took her to a vacant lot. It alleges he told her he wanted oral sex in exchange for his help. When she refused the charges, she says he forced her into a sex act with her hand.
The accusation absolutely did not happen. I don't even recall who this person is. I've never recalled even meeting them. And, you know, I spent my life protecting people.
That was the mayor's reaction last November when the woman
That's
filed
not
a notice.
graphic. So he asked her for some head. He said, "Can I get some dome?" She was like, "Nah." He was like, "All right, jack me off then." Like, I mean, what's so graphic about that? I don't get it, man. I don't get it, man.
Them, and, you know, I spent my life protecting people.
That was the mayor's reaction last November when the woman filed a notice of claim under a special New York Adult Survivors Act signed in 2022 by Governor Hochul. It allowed sexual misconduct accusers for 1 year to file civil lawsuits that otherwise would have been prevented by the statute of limitations. Adams faces re-election in November 2025, and legal experts say this case could move slowly.
They're going to have depositions, hearings, exchange of documents. And after that, the process, the case itself is put on the trial calendar, which also is a pretty lengthy process in the state of New York. So that can take anywhere up to, you know, it could be many years.
City Corporation Counsel Sylvia Hines-Raddick said in a statement, while we review the complaint, the mayor fully denies these outrageous allegations and the events described here. We expect full vindication in court. The lawyer for the accuser said the woman knew that filing this lawsuit would cause her significant personal challenges, but she did so nevertheless because she believes sexual abusers must be held to account no matter who they are. The accuser now lives in Florida. She's seeking a jury trial and wants millions of dollars in damages. Maurice.
Okay, Dick, thank you. And tomorrow, Mayor Adams.
30 years later. It was so important that 30 years later.
I'm so sick of this shit because it's like anytime someone goes against the narrative, any like local, you know, or federal government, anything, it's the same shit they use all the time to get someone out. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah.
You just pull a sexual, you make a sexual assault charge from like 20 plus years ago, 3 decades ago, whatever.
Yeah. It's like you get Kavanaugh. You know, people that can't. There's no evidence. They're just making shit up, and then we're supposed to take them seriously.
It's insane how like people just don't catch on after a while either. Like,
Yeah, and then other women start piling on, and that happens too. Like, I don't know what you guys think about Bill Cosby, but he might have done some shit, but I don't know if he did that to all those women. You know.
My
Just
thing
start
is,
coming out of the woodwork.
No, I agree. He's definitely not you know, not guilty, but he didn't do it to that many. I gotta say, he definitely did this shit though.
So if you a guy like Eric Adams, and let's just say he never would have become mayor, right? Let's just say he still would have been, what do they call it? President of Brooklyn or some shit like that. Before this, she would have never filed that case against him.
No.
Once he became mayor, you know what I'm saying? It's wild. It's like once you achieve status, that's when they come. But as long as you keep, you know, you stay low, it's just like, you know, you stay under the radar. They won't file a case against you. And it's just crazy, man. If he wasn't mayor, she definitely wouldn't be doing this. Salute to Dada Narikin. He says, and my sister wonders why I always carry when I visit her in Jacksonville. Yes, at the beach. Yeah, Jacksonville is rough, Jack.
An arson investigation is underway in Sherman Oaks tonight after fire erupts in a dumpster near a popular restaurant. Residents and business owners in the area say it is a growing problem, putting lives and property at risk.
KTLA's Sandra Mitchell joins us live in Sherman Oaks. More, Sandra.
Sheriff Casavega is an institution in this area. We talked to the owner tonight who says it is not just arson fires. This area is becoming increasingly dangerous with stabbings and other assaults. Security video shows the arsonist pour an accelerant in a dumpster and light it on fire. Flames go flashing up the side of a Sherman Oaks apartment building.
I was horrified.
The Saturday night fire was in the parking lot of Casa Vega, a popular restaurant.
The flames were about 10 feet high, and it's right next to our grease trap. And if the fire had hit our grease trap, it would have been like a bomb explosion.
The arsonists have not been caught. Local business owners blame transients.
We have a constant assault by the transients that come in the restaurant,
terrorizing the Ventura Boulevard neighborhood.
And we had a busser that was stabbed coming to work right in the driveway of Casa Vega by a transient.
The owner of Valley Inn, the oldest restaurant in the valley, tells us homeless people are scaring their customers and employees. They're pleading with city officials to help, but they're also doing what they can to protect themselves. Robert Tomlinson is a volunteer with the Neighborhood Watch Group. That's him in the bright yellow vest. He was on patrol Saturday night and spotted the arson fire.
And I just happened to cross the smoke column, and then I, made the determination that I needed to do something, so I called 911. And
the dumpster fire really didn't cause much damage, but the owner of Casa Vega says incidents like this ultimately could put her 70-year-old restaurant out of business. Her insurance company recently canceled her policy.
The crime, the homeless, the lack of consequences, it's making businesses uninsurable, because if the government and authorities aren't going to prosecute crime, insurance is going to stop paying for it.
Wow. Damn, they can't even get insurance over there. Shit.
Where's this located?
Yeah, smash on the owner though.
LA area. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what'll happen. Of course.
Jeez. Man, guys, I got a big day tomorrow, man. It's been real, man. Salute, man. Same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Peace out.
Peace, guys.